Lolly in Johannesburg says we should deign the free education for all and quality educators who select the labor union mentality. And someone says, thank you so much for this book. It's just what South Africa needs. I myself also bring the idea of psychology and alternative thought together, but this is a brilliant way of making it relevant to our country. Thank you. And Dr. M says, what qualifies the author to write a book like this? I'll give you a chance to respond to that one. And Sulu says, mind is the most powerful weapon, and it's true that we need to share this newfound information with all our people. Mind, that's Sulu. And someone else says democracy is the problem, a con trick for people to avoid responsibility. That's Anthony. I'll give you a chance to respond to some of those, and we'll take those calls. Lindu and Mutala, I'll come to you in a moment. Taking your calls, 0891 104 207, SMSs to 34701. Lindiwe in Zirpakom. Hi.
Hi, Saki.
Hi there.
Thank you for the wonderful show.
Pleasure.
Your guest is complaining about us not putting our ideas. We do have ideas, wonderful ones too, but nobody is prepared to take them up. During the last, let's say, during David's time, we used to write letters, and the story I can give is horrible about those letters. We then got our president at the moment, and we're highly excited to the fact that we were supposed to put our complaints again over to him. Nothing has been done about them up to now. One other thing I would like to understand is our Honorable Mandela told us that Joburg is for all who live in it. This Joburg was built by our grandparents' monies contributed on building this Joburg, but in a second it was brought down with no respect. How did he expect these monies or whatever to be contributed, to be distributed to the people who have no number, no order, nothing? I think respect, order, and part of those things are more crucial than anything else. And we need ears to listen to our complaints, please.
All right. Thanks, Lindiwe. Let's hear from Mutala and Durban. Hi there, someone.
Yeah. Now, Moses' main object, like all other prophets, was to liberate and free the poor, the Israelites, from the oppression of the most powerful man at that time, Pharaoh. But the Israelites consistently disobeyed against the orders of Moses. Even in his basic teaching of worshipping only one God, what they did while he was away for 40 days, they carved a golden calf and started worshipping that. They regarded themselves as superior to others, and yet Moses said, we should treat all the people the same. They began to oppress their own people, and today they are oppressing others. So they are constantly going against the very teaching of Moses. And secondly, the fact that your guest there speaks about and emphasizes individualism. That is a foreign ideology coming from the industrialized capitalist system. Our and the Prophet's ideology was, you must care for others. You must care for mankind. You put mankind first and not your selfish interest first. And as long as we are mentally enslaved to that idea, which is brought from the West, we will continue to oppress our people, and we will not have democracy.
Okay. Thanks, Mutala. Philemon in Pretoria. Hi, Philemon.
Good morning, madam, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you very much, and good morning to your guest. No, I appreciate any literature or any public lecture or any public discussion that is assisting us as South Africans to delete the apartheid and introduce democracy. But the best way to finally delete apartheid is to know what was in the minds of the architects of apartheid. What type of literature did they read before they introduced apartheid? I think that will help us to delete it and introduce a democracy. You will recall, those who are avid readers, that those who were the apartheid architects, they used the church, and if I remember well, it was the Dutch Reformed Church. Just before they installed apartheid, they frequented Germany, and they ate some of the bad behavior from Germany and came up with such words as Godelos and godly people, which is simply translated is the K word. Now, some of the literature that they read there, I know that he's tracing it from Moses, but they read two scriptures in Genesis, which was the scripture of the Tower of the Bible, and where people were building the tower, and God punished them by introducing different languages and scattering them around. That is why they felt that for any ideology like apartheid to be installed, it must be supported by scriptures. No wonder those who were in government by that thing approached the Dutch Reformed Church and say, go to the Bible and check its scriptures that we can use to justify why we want to introduce apartheid. And the first scripture that was that one of the power of the Bible, we can read through it. The second scripture that they used was that one of the man who was the first person to own a vineyard, that was who had 3 children, Ham, Jem, and Chafeta, where he got drunk and then he punished one of his children. They said that society that was punished, those were black people, so black people can't stay with white people. But now we need to think out as new people in South Africa to say, how do we delete this particular party? And I believe that the best scripture that we can introduce in order to introduce democracy is Deuteronomy 1 verse 8, which is a framework for effective democratic good governance. We can go and that is a scripture that Moses used just when they were 2 kilometers towards taking over Canaan. That when they were playing on Canaan. It talks more about how we should treat each other as black and white people, because this apartheid is not only us black people who suffered, even those who were benefiting, they suffered. If you look at them now, they can't even survive.
Yeah. All right, Philemon, we've got your point. Sorry, you've been on now for over 3 minutes.
Yeah, God bless you. Thanks. But thanks for the good literature.
Thanks, Philemon. Thanks for your points. Apologies for that. We don't have unlimited time. Let's hear from Ruben in Pretoria. Hi, Ruben.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
I'm fine. And happy Women's Day to you and everyone in SAFM.
Thank you.
And then I just want to add to address them that I thank you very much for the very good book. And then I just want to encourage him to continue to write a good way. And then I just want to add in the democratic way of thinking that I think as South Africans now we have to eradicate from where we were in 1994 until today. So we have to move on in thinking so that we can able to implement powers that we can able to see a better tomorrow, so that our children may able to use the content of the education that we are having today, so that we can able to invest a very good academic tomorrow. Because if we are going to sit down and look back for what happened, implementing them into the content of what we can able to use today, we are going to have a very major problem in the coming years. It is very important to think with our mind, to think with our souls, so that we can able to eradicate our mind from a body of thinking this democracy, so that we can able to use it in the collective way, so that we can able to see where do we want to wish to go as a country. Right. Because if we are going to think that whatever happened in the apartheid regime, whatever Bantu education is left, it was one of the best and whatsoever. We are thinking back because I think we've got a very best education system now. How do we think to put that education system into the implements so that we can able to build a better democracy tomorrow? I thank you.
Thanks, Ruben.